Okay, let's talk a little bit about hold control. Hold control is motionless aiming. Essentially, we want to be on the target. We want to be solid on the target. We want to remain on the target until, we don't have to be. If you're target shooting, until the gun's empty, or until you decided to stop shooting. If there's a threat, until that threat is no longer exactly that, a threat. So, hold control. We need to be on the target. We need to not be on the target every time. Lots of different ways to accomplish this. One way that I feel is very effective and anyone can perfect is push and pull technique. So what I'm going to be doing with my on hand with the gun, first I'm going to check and make sure we're unloaded here. Yep, we're unloaded, no magazine in the well. Okay, so with my on hand, I'm going to be pushing out, and with my off hand, I'm actually going to be pulling in towards my body. And with this push and pull, it actually creates an ultimate stable platform. You could control this far better than I've seen shooters come into the range not knowing and just having both arms locked out, or having them really tight in and close. I mean, I've seen them both, or the head canted one way. We want to have our head vertical. We want to bring the gun to our head, and we want to hold that solid, rock solid, for as long as we need to. So we're not close, we're not locked, we're elbow bent slightly on the push. With the pull, we're going to be pulling it in, and a solid platform. Now, another thing I see a lot is I see people wrapping their finger around the trigger. That is wrapping your finger around the trigger. Your finger, more importantly your index finger's got several digits. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully everyone's got 3. If not, no big deal. I've taught people how to shoot with their middle finger as well. Okay, so assuming we're just talking about digits, and we'll talk about the index finger at this time, we want to be resting that trigger on the first digit, or if you've got a longer finger or it's a smaller gun, maybe that first notch in between the first and second digit. That's a stable area for your finger to be on. If you wrap it, you'll tend to pull the gun, and a right-handed shooter, if wrapped the trigger, will tend to pull left, and typically it's low left. Right? If we're doing it correctly, we could pull it straight back. We ultimately want the trigger pull straight back. We don't want it sideways. If you wrap, it tends to go sideways when you come down. It's just how your finger moves. So we want the gun with our finger, first digit, on the trigger. And when you're pulling through, we want to talk about, real quick, about being surprised from the shot. We know we're shooting, we know we're going to shoot, but we don't want to know precisely when the gun is going to go bang. If we do that, we might jump and move the muzzle, which is going to throw our projectile off, and we're not going to hit where we wanted to hit on our target. We might hit our target, but it might not necessarily be where we were aiming or intending it to be. So, get those digits, the first digit on the gun, squeeze the trigger slightly with added weight, gun goes bang. It's not a complete shock, but at that specific time you weren't maybe knowing that it was going to go bang. At that, fraction of a second. So, it just helps you keep on target. So, push with the on hand, pull with the off hand, get the digit lined up, and we're not looking to punch the trigger. We're looking to gradually squeeze the trigger until the gun goes bang. And there's exercises where you use snap caps, and this is a great tool at the range. I love this. Matter of fact, I'll have these with myself. I'll have these with me when you check out at the range, and we can go, and I have them in 45, 9mm, and 22. So depending on what you shoot, hopefully you have one of those calibers, and we can use this. But essentially what you're doing is you're loading maybe every third, or 2 in the magazine, or maybe a couple in the cylinder. And what you're looking for is when you go through, you squeeze, you're doing your whole thing, bang, and then that snap cap comes in. When you anticipate the gun going off, you might see this, although nothing's happening. So snap caps are a cool way to train, as well as help you fix any of your shooting issues in terms of predicting the shot, punching the trigger. You could see all those things with the snap cap. So I recommend you get some of those too in your training.